Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Provide housing for. The immigrants were housed in a new development outside the town. A social unit living together. It was a good Christian household. The members of a business organization that owns or operates one or more establishments. He worked for a brokerage house. Astrology, one of 12 equal areas into which the zodiac is divided. A building where theatrical performances or motion picture shows can be presented. The house was full. A building in which something is sheltered or located. They had a large carriage house. A dwelling that serves as living quarters for one or more families. He has a house on Cape Cod. An official assembly having legislative powers. A bicameral legislature has 2 houses. Aristocratic family line. Contain or cover. This box houses the gears. Play in which children take the roles of father or mother or children and pretend to interact like adults. The children were playing house. The audience gathered together in a theater or cinema. The house applauded. The management of a gambling house or casino. The house gets a percentage of every bet. The members of a religious community living together. Provide housing for. Make one's home in a particular place or community. Put up with something or somebody unpleasant. Provide housing for. Provide. The city has to put up half the required amount. Place so as to be noticed. Mount or put up. Put up a good fight. Construct, build, or erect. Propose as a candidate for some honor. Preserve in a can or tin. Make available for sale at an auction. The dealer put up 3 of his most valuable paintings for auction. A social unit living together. He moved his family to Virginia. People descended from a common ancestor. His family has lived in Massachusetts since the Mayflower. A loose affiliation of gangsters in charge of organized criminal activities. A person having kinship with another or others. He's family. An association of people who share common beliefs or activities. The message was addressed not just to employees but to every member of the company family. A collection of things sharing a common attribute. Primary social group, parents and children. He wanted to have a good job before starting a family. Biology, a taxonomic group containing one or more genera. Sharks belong to the fish family. Baseball, base consisting of a rubber slab where the batter stands. It must be touched by a base runner in order to score. He ruled that the runner failed to touch home. An institution where people are cared for. A home for the elderly. A social unit living together. The teacher asked how many people made up his home. Inside the country. Where you live at a particular time. Deliver the package to my home. The place where you are stationed and from which missions start and end. Housing that someone is living in. They raise money to provide homes for the homeless. An environment offering affection and security. Home is where the heart is. Place where something began and flourished. The United States is the home of basketball. Provide with, or send to, a home. Return home accurately from a long distance. The country or state or city where you live. Canadian tariffs enabled United States lumber companies to raise prices at home. Used of your own ground. A home game. Relating to or being where one lives or where one's roots are. My hometown. A social unit living together. It was a good Christian household. A social unit living together. The members of a business organization that owns or operates one or more establishments. Not liable to fluctuate or especially to fall. Stocks are still firm. The members of a business organization that owns or operates one or more establishments. With resolute determination. We firmly believed it. Unwavering in devotion to friend or vow or cause. A firm ally. Marked by firm determination or resolution, not shakeable. Firm convictions. Securely fixed in place. The post was still firm after being hit by the car. Strong and sure. A firm grasp. Make taut or totter. Become taut or totter. Your muscles will firm when you exercise regularly. Not soft or yielding to pressure. A firm mattress. Not subject to revision or change. A firm contract. Of especially a person's physical features, not shaking or trembling. His voice was firm and confident. Possessing the tone and resiliency of healthy tissue. Firm muscles. Securely established. Holds a firm position as the country's leading poet. A large and imposing house. Astrology, one of 12 equal areas into which the zodiac is divided. Astrology, one of 12 equal areas into which the zodiac is divided. Structure displaying a board on which advertisements can be posted. The highway was lined with signboards. A perceptible indication of something not immediately apparent, as a visible clue that something has happened. He showed signs of strain. Mark with one's signature. Write one's name, on. She signed the letter and sent it off. Make the sign of the cross over someone in order to call on God for protection. Consecrate. Any nonverbal action or gesture that encodes a message. Signals from the boat suddenly stopped. Engage by written agreement. They signed 2 new pitchers for the next season. Used of the language of the deaf. An event that is experienced as indicating important things to come. It was a sign from God. Approve and express assent, responsibility, or obligation. Have you signed your contract yet? Communicate silently and non-verbally by signals or signs. He signed his disapproval with a dismissive hand gesture. Astrology, one of 12 equal areas into which the zodiac is divided. Having an indicated pole, as the distinction between positive and negative electric charges. Charges of opposite sign. A character indicating a relation between quantities. Don't forget the minus sign. A fundamental linguistic unit linking a signifier to that which is signified. The bond between the signifier and the signified is arbitrary. A gesture that is part of a sign language. A public display of a message. He posted signs in all the shop windows. Be engaged by a written agreement. He signed to play the casino on December 18th. Communicate in sign language. I don't know how to sign, so I could not communicate with my deaf cousin. Medicine. Any objective evidence of the presence of a disorder or disease. There were no signs of asphyxiation. Place signs, as along a road. Sign an intersection. Astrology. One of 12 equal areas into which the zodiac is divided. Astrology. One of 12 equal areas into which the zodiac is divided. The art of writing and producing plays. A region in which active military operations are in progress. He served in the Vietnam Theater for 3 years. A building where theatrical performances or motion picture shows can be presented. The art of writing and producing plays. A region in which active military operations are in progress. A building where theatrical performances or motion picture shows can be presented. A way of organizing business to reduce the taxes it must pay on current earnings. The condition of being protected. A structure that provides privacy and protection from danger. Invest money so that it is not taxable. Protective covering that provides protection from the weather. Provide shelter for. After the earthquake, the government could not provide shelter for the thousands of homeless people. Temporary housing for homeless or displaced persons. An organization regarded as part of a larger social group. The coach said the offensive unit did a good job. Any division of quantity accepted as a standard of measurement or exchange. The dollar is the United States unit of currency. An assemblage of parts that is regarded as a single entity. The team is a unit. A single undivided natural thing occurring in the composition of something else. Units of nucleic acids. An individual or group or structure or other entity regarded as a structural or functional constituent of a whole. Reduced the number of units and installations. A single undivided whole. An idea is not a unit that can be moved from one brain to another. An organization regarded as part of a larger social group. A commercial or industrial enterprise and the people who constitute it. A commercial or industrial enterprise and the people who constitute it. He bought his brother's business. Incidental activity performed by an actor for dramatic effect. His business with the cane was hilarious. The principal activity in your life that you do to earn money. He's not in my line of business. Business concerns collectively. Government and business could not agree. Customers collectively. The activity of providing goods and services involving financial and commercial and industrial aspects. Computers are now widely used in business. An immediate objective. Gossip was the main business of the evening. A rightful concern or responsibility. It's none of your business. The volume of commercial activity. Business is good today. A commercial or industrial enterprise and the people who constitute it. A racially integrated business concern. Be on the mind of. A commercial or industrial enterprise and the people who constitute it. A racially integrated business concern. Be relevant to. Something or someone that causes anxiety, a source of unhappiness. New York traffic is a constant concern. An anxious feeling. A feeling of sympathy for someone or something. She felt strong concern for those less fortunate. Something that interests you because it is important or affects you. The safety of the ship is the captain's concern. A commercial or industrial enterprise and the people who constitute it. A part of an animal that has a special function or is supplied by a given artery or nerve. In the abdominal region. A knowledge domain that you are interested in or are communicating about. Here we enter the region of opinion. The extended spatial location of something. The farming regions of France. The approximate amount of something, usually used prepositionally as in the region of. It was going to take in the region of 2 or 3 months to finish the job. A large indefinite location on the surface of the Earth. Penguins inhabit the polar regions. The effort contributed by a person in bringing about a result. The actions and activities assigned to or required or expected of a person or group. The government must do its part. To some extent, in some degree, not wholly. I felt partly to blame. Assets belonging to or due to or contributed by an individual person or group. A portion of a natural object. They analyzed the river into 3 parts. Something less than the whole of a human artifact. The rear part of the house. One of the portions into which something is regarded as divided and which together constitute a whole. The written part of the exam. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. The business partners broke over a tax question. The melody carried by a particular voice or instrument in polyphonic music. He tried to sing the tenor part. Force, take, or pull apart. Moses parted the Red Sea. An item that is an instance of some type. My dog swallowed a Lego part. A line of scalp that can be seen when sections of hair are combed in opposite directions. His part was right in the middle. Leave. The extended spatial location of something. Religions in all parts of the world. Go one's own way. Move apart. The friends separated after the party. Something determined in relation to something that includes it. He wanted to feel a part of something bigger than himself. An actor's portrayal of someone in a play. She played the part of Desdemona. Come apart. That which concerns a person with regard to a particular role or situation. It requires vigilance on our part. A structure that has a roof and walls and stands more or less permanently in one place. It was an imposing edifice. The commercial activity involved in repairing old structures or constructing new ones. Workers in the building trades. The act of constructing something. His hobby was the building of boats. A structure that has a roof and walls and stands more or less permanently in one place. There was a 3-story building on the corner. The occupants of a building. The entire building complained about the noise. Any address at which you dwell more than temporarily. Housing that someone is living in. The act of dwelling in or living permanently in a place, said of both animals and men. He studied the creation and inhabitation and demise of the colony. Housing that someone is living in. The native habitat or home of an animal or plant. Make one's home in a particular place or community. Housing that someone is living in. Law. The residence where you have your permanent home or principal establishment and to where, whenever you are absent, you intend to return. Every person is compelled to have one and only one domicile at a time.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.